KB, nakakuan na ba? Naka-focus na ba si sir? Wala pa. Wala tayong technical eh. Sandali hindi ko makakita.
Yes, hello ma'am.
KB, si Lenovo pala pangalan niya hindi Mario.
Okay. Sige po ma'am.
Pasensya na.
Hindi ko siya mahanap kasi. Sige ma'am. Okay.
Yeah, pasensya na. Focus na ba? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wala pa. Kaya hintayin natin nakakiya sa mga taga-Cayman.
Hello ma'am. Promoted to panelist na po.
To panelist kasi siya yung speaker namin
Yes po ma'am.
Dapat meron siyang audio. Wala siyang audio ngayon. Nakaka lang kung kaka-on sa kanya.
Ito po ma'am, andito na po siya sa panel. Andito na po ma'am.
Sige. Okay. Thank you very much, KB. Okay. Good morning again, everyone. Thank you for attending our Sunday's Best. Kung from Thursday Delight, naging Sunday's Best tayo ngayon kasi with our import speaker from Cayman Island chapter. Yes, good evening sa mga taga-Cayman. Thank you for sharing to us your advisors, Sir Mario. I would like to introduce our speaker for our Sunday's Best. He is an electrical cost and project management consultant with emphasis on energy efficient, renewable energy, and design
Recording
economics,
in progress.
such as life cycle costing. He earned value and value engineering. He is an active member of IIEE, PMI, Project Management Institute yan, and AACE. Hindi ko alam ano ibig sabihin. He currently works as a design and project coordinator at Corporate Electric Limited, Cayman Islands. Prior joining with CEL, he was a design manager at Arcadis GEC Manila office, a project manager at RAPM Abu Dhabi UAE, and a principal head of electrical department at Jacobs Abu Dhabi UAE office. Primarily works on aerodrome, mga airports, airfield lighting design, vertical transportations, urban planning, oil and gas projects that deals with risk assessments and analysis, loss prevention, plant cathodic and static electrical protections, electrical area classifications. He works also in the field of hospital design and construction projects at Impragilo, Spa, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. An electrical consultant at Parsons International, WS Atkins, ACOM, KO International, and previously in local electrical construction industry. He is a BSEE graduate of TIP, Technological Institute of the Philippines, electrical technology graduate at St. Louis University to Gigrao. He has the PRC license, of course, and he is affiliated with IIEE, PMI, AACE, and FTA IESNA. Guys, let's all welcome and give a round of applause to our speaker for today, Engineer Mario Fernandez. Palakpakan po natin. Hindi ko makikita kung sino ating attendees ngayon kasi webinar type ang binigay sa atin kasi may ongoing pang ibang activities ang IIEE. Kasabay natin ang Western Mindanao region today. Okay, so let's welcome Sir Mario. Sir Mario, the floor is yours. Again, thank you very much for accepting our invitation. Our president is here with us now. Si Engineer March Machenzo, the president of our chapter, Northern Laguna chapter. Again, welcome everyone sa aming Sunday's Best, and I hope and I'm sure you will learn many things from Engineer Mario. Okay, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Hold on. Okay, let's start my video. Can you hear me all? Okay. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Yep. First of all, pasalamat po ako at kami naimbitahan na mag-participate sa webinar na ito. Can you see me?
No.
Hold on.
Sa akin wala, sir.
Okay, I cannot see anybody except the screen.
But can you share the screen, sir?
Okay, sure.
Pasensya na, we cannot see the videos of everyone who is attending now kasi webinar type tayo. So it just be the panelists who would be there. Yan. Kita namin, hindi lang naka-play pa.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Maybe we can proceed.
Okay po.
Right. Okay. Like what I've said, ako ay nagpapasalamat, ladies and gentlemen, na nakakala kayo sa webinar na to, and it's a great pleasure na take part on this event. As you would know, that Cayman Island chapter is very baby, but then a group of engineers here are coming from all corners of the world. They have a lot of experiences and employers that they have been through. Marami pong maibibigay or mai-share like what I'm doing right now. Right. So basically, in this webinar, we'll tackle about the life cycles costing analysis. So an example ko po yung car parking lighting, which is I believe siguro nakikita niyo sa Makati, sa Metropolis, no? Mandaluyong, Pasig, o wherever it is, sa mga malls, sa mga outdoor car parking. Have you ever think that this kind of, lighting system takes a lot of energy, and to my understanding on the reports that I have gathered, takes a lot of, I believe it's about 10% of the total energy being consumed by the building itself. So with that said, that 10%, if you're going to translate that into monetary value, ay malaki. So I came up with this idea of sharing how the life cycle cost analysis to be conducted in this kind of installation and system. My point of interest here is to let and understand with the facility management consultant itself, the designer, or even the contractor should understand how much does this car park lighting are evolving, and they should understand the economic value in the long run of installing this such system in the building. Kung napapansin nyo, this car park lighting, especially dun sa mga malls, indoor, so almost 24/7 nakailaw yan. Due to the fact that kailangan nilang i-operate ito 24/7 because of the security, first of all, and the property itself, kailangan magkaroon ng ilaw. So that means That said, malaki ang naiambag na energy ito sa life cycle costing, sa building itself actually. So let's see how this life cycle analysis for car park lighting will work on our webinar, and understanding how it can be done. So as an introductory, the LCC is an economic methodology for selecting the most cost-effective design alternative over a particular time frame. When I say design alternative, meaning, halimbawa, gusto mong i-compare yung traditional lighting na ginagamit sa car parking lighting, like fluorescent, HID lamp versus the light efficient LED, which is now being used abundantly. So, titingnan natin kung how we're going to compare the cost of this type of light. Magbibigay sa atin ng idea kung magkano o kung sino ba ang mas maayos na i-install in the long run. Makikita natin yung cost nito, because the life cycle cost analysis, it considers so many factors. The factors are yung initial cost system. Initial cost meaning yung purchasing initial purchasing cost mo, the cost of installing them, the cost of permits, so everything, all these costs will come together as one, as the initial cost of the item. And then you're going to add also the cost of operating, okay, the energy that's being used, the electricity, and then you need to also consider the cost of replacement, right? And then disposal cost, residual. So those are the cost categories that has to be included in the whole concept of LCCA. So every cost category, you need to include the present value of those costs. Why? Because yung investment mo, yung pera mo na ini-invest mo at this point of time, at the later age date, yung, let's say for example, yung 100 peso mo ngayon, after 5 years, hindi na 100% 100 pesos yun. It will reduce due to the inflation, the increase and decrease of cost of commodities. It will affect your money purchasing power, and that is called time value of your money, right? So each cost category should be calculated with the present value. So summing up, as you see on the screen, all costs of acquiring, operating, and maintaining and disposing building system component. That an example is what we are on the webinar now, is the lighting, car parking lighting system. Kailangan pag nag-compare ka ng dalawang two types of different lights, for example, it has to be in a common study period. Like for example, if the LED is projected to last 15 years, 17 years, and then the HID lamp, let's say we choose mercury vapor, is about 5 years. But it depends also, by the way, on the burning hours. So we'll see that on the next slide, how that works. So let's put it on another concepts of what this LCA the content, right? So on the next slide, let's see how the definition first of this the component of the LCA para maintindihan natin kung paano natin gamitin yung LCA. So these definitions are very specific and very important because they all integrates with the common understanding of LCA. So like what I said a while ago, the acquisition cost is all costs including the capital incurred prior to time zero in acquiring an asset. Capital cost, depreciation, discounted cost. This is the result of discounting the cost to be incurred in the future at a given interest rate. So kanina yung nabanggit ko ito. Then that's the disposal cost also. In our example, the lights cannot be, cannot be, there is no salvage value. Meaning, na-overuse mo na yung ilaw, wala nang silbi yun. So, meaning, yung disposal cost mo could be zero, or it could be have a small value but very negligible. The other understanding of disposal cost is yung saan mo siya itatapon. So those costs are very minimal as compared to a big equipment that can be, you can resale. So escalation and de-escalation, it is very important as well. Makikita natin ito mamaya. Net present value. This is the total present day worth of the future cash flow discounted at a given interest. The nominal cost, present value, is the present day worth of a future cost discounted at a given interest rate. So, may example tayo mamaya yan, nakikita natin how it works. Then, next thing is the period analysis. Okay, this is very important when you do the LCA. You need to identify what period of study you are taking. Like if you are planning to do a period of study of 15 years, then your base case and an alternative option should be on the same period of time. Then you will know also the physical life or end of life of that piece of equipment you are going to study. Importante rin po yan. And time zero is, of course, is your base case year. Now let's go to the terminology. Okay. This is very important as well to understand kung paano natin bubuuin yung LCA. Without understanding these terminologies, mahihirapan tayo. But let's take it one by one. So the first and foremost is the initial and future expenses. So basically, igagather mo yung information na ito. This is the first component in LCA equation. Is the cost. So yeah. Yung initial cost or acquisition cost, these are the initial costs under this. The next one is the residual value. Yung residual value, mga sirs, ma'am, is this is the yung end of life ng item. Yung katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina. Pwede mo bang ma-resell yan after the end of life? With disposal costs and everything? Or salvage value in short? These are those costs included. Next one is the study period, as I mentioned a while ago. discount rate, importante po ito. This is the rate that is being reflected in the investors or owners' time or value of money. You can take this discount rate in a normal financial institution like halimbawa sa bank. Makikita niyo po itong mga discount rate na ito. This applies to common commodities, right? There are two different difference on the discount rate that being used. The one is the real discount rate, which is the constant dollar or peso equivalent. Then this real discount rate is yung hindi mo pa kino-consider yung inflation. Okay? Pag may inflation, it is called nominal discount rate, or meaning current dollar or peso value, right? Either way, kung gusto mong mag-calculate ng LCA with real discount or nominal discount rate, it can be done for as long as yung sa report mo, sa LCA na ginawa mo, you have to mention na included ba ang inflation or not. So two formulas can be done in any way. And the time value, that's what I said a while ago, yung pera mo hindi pareho. If you want to invest today, after 10 years, iiba yung value niya. And that is the reducing power, currency power of your money. Okay. Next thing is the present value. Again, I mentioned a while ago this. Basically, the present value is now. This is what you're going to apply now. The discount rate, the inflation rate, the future cost of the item you are under, what is going to be under study. Okay. Two things na kailangan natin malaman dito sa present value na ito. Meron tinatawag na one-time cost and recurring cost. Okay. One-time cost is meaning yung present value mo on that item or that system. An example nito is yung replacement. It happens only every 3 years, every 5 years, depende kung yung item or system mo need to be replaced, right? So it depends upon the system that you are going to provide the present value of that. Next thing is the recurring cost. Recurring cost means ito yung annually meron kang cost o cash flow. So ibig sabihin, a good example of recurring cost is the maintenance, right? Operation cost. Operation cost, nandito yung, siyempre, mag-i-invest ka ng taong gagawa, mag-replace ng bumbilya, mag-clean ng mga diffuser ng ilaw, etc., etc. So this is recurring cost, the labor cost, and the material that is going to be used for replacing parts of the fixture. So those are recurring costs. Palagi, annually, lilinis ka, papalit ka naglilinis ka ng light fixture, etc., etc. That is recurring cost. Okay? So, next thing is, pag nagawa mo na yung present value of each cost category, minsan, kung gusto mo makasigurado na tama yung analysis mo, kailangan mong i-supplement yung study mo through so many facts, through so many measures, like nandyan yung net saving, nandyan yung saving to interest investment ratio, or SIR, tinatawag. Nandyan yung internal rate of return, nandyan yung simple payback and discounted payback. So tingnan natin kung anong ibig sabihin ng mga ito. Dahil each and every one of these supplementary measures of economic evaluation ay magkakaiba. Like yung NS or net saving. Ito ay, if you want to determine the cost effectiveness of the base case and alternative na ginagawa mong analysis. So, meaning, dito itong net saving is kung ano yung mas meron kang benefit. Is it the alternative or the base case? So, yan ang net saving. The SIR, meaning gusto mong i-rank yung project, halimbawa yung study na ginagawa mo, analysis. I-rank mo siya kung anong level siya sa budget allocation mo. Ito ba ay kayang sustain ng budget mo or can let it go kung okay naman na andyan yung under budget ika nga. So gamitin mo yung SIR. Next thing, another supplementary measure of economic evaluation is the internal rate of return. Meaning, itong IRR nito, iterative calculation ang gagawin mo rito. Hanggang sa yung net present value mo maging zero. So, ibig sabihin, alamin mo yung interest rate na kung saan yung present value mo mag-equalize yung cost mo, yung initial cost mo, at saka yung savings mo. Pareho. Ibig sabihin zero. Right? So, that is IRR. Ito, very common. Ang next supplementary, very common ito eh. Payback. Madalas ito ginagamit sa mga financial institutions, sa mga evaluator. Simplest form of evaluating an item kasi ito, yung payback na ito. Kaya nakuha mo yung investment mo, and then makita mo yung savings mo, normal annual savings mo, makukuha mo na yung approximate payback period mo sa na ini-study mo. Okay? But that is only a supplementary economic measure sa LCCA. So, LCCA is very broad, very comprehensive. So, ito lang ang measures na tinitingnan mo sa LCA. Right? On the next slide, I want to provide you the process of how to complete the LCAA. Ito yung actually there is no simple solution in every study ng LCAA. Actually, maraming kaparaanan o maraming way how you going to do this LCAA. What I am trying to share with you is what I have learned in my field of experience, design, construction, and how they are being built and being used sa project. Alam mo kasi itong LCA na ito, magandang ito eh. It is a good, a very important tool na para sa mga decision making na gagawin mo. Lalo na kung ikaw ay nagtatrabaho sa cost management, quantity surveying, or even if you are on the top of the organization like project manager, construction manager, director maybe, or even the president itself. Ginagamit ito sa decision making. Lalo na kung medyo makalakihan na yung investment na gagamitin sa project. So this LCA has to be, to be done to support your decision making. Right? So what are the inclusion of this LCA? So as you could see on the screen, it is a brief description of project alternative. That is what LCA is. A brief explanation as to why the project alternative was selected. So, pag ginawa mo yung LCA, like what I've said a while ago, magkakaroon ka na ng decision kung which one is more cost-effective or not. Okay? And it explains the assumption made during the LCA, meaning all cost categories are being taken into consideration. Okay? And then, yung report mo sa LCAA, it has to be, unique and specific. Like for example, if you want to compare an apple to an orange, hindi mo siya mako-compare equally because magkaibang fruit yan. Similarly, to what we're going to give an example is light. So meaning both function the same thing. So kailangan yung comparison mo pareho. So although magkakaiba ng initial cost, then the function remains the same. So yun ang LCA. The LCA cannot be used to compare two different things. It should be the same functionality. Okay? So on the next slide, this is the basic step in LCA analysis. Okay? Number one is it could be like identify the feasible alternative. So sa mga designer, of course, gumawa ka ng preliminary design, even during the start of design, basis of design or design criteria report, then gumagawa ka na actually ng feasible alternative ng mga ilaw mo. So which one would best suit to that environment? So next thing is to establish the assumptions and parameters. Ito yung nabanggit ko kanina. So kailangan i-establish mo na yung assumptions mo dun sa particular item na na-select mong alternatives parameters. Okay? And then collect the estimated cost, meaning yung how much the installation cost of this item, how much the procurement, construction itself, the first cost, yung acquisition cost. So those are the related costs included in there. And then you need to establish also the discount of all costs to present value. So like what we have explained just before, kailangan mong i-apply yung present value with those discount applied. It could be the real or with the inflation, right? So and then after that, you need to apply now the formal LCA base and its alternative. Then from there, you can select which alternative with the lowest life cycle cost. Doon ka na yung mag-decide which one is best for you. Right? So, tingnan nga natin in a brief understanding what are those basic steps are all about. So, identify a feasible alternative. So that is kailangan mong dito sa alternative nito, huwag mo nang isama siguro yung mga sunk costs ng mga item sa mga na-select mo dahil those sunk costs are not recoverable anymore. Kung halimbawa gumastos ka na ng halimbawa testing ng ilaw o pinatest mo bago mo pa binili. Pero nandiyan na sa stock mo, nabili mo na. Pero yung cost mo ay nagastos na, then those are need to be excluded anymore dahil those are considered sunk costs. Right? And then the length of study of the period, kailangan ma-establish din yan. It could be, normally, itong length of study of period to how to establish your assumption and parameters is it always up to the end of life of your equipment for lighting. Like for example, yung LED, it's about approximately 15 to 17 years. Kayang mag-stay dyan. Basta maganda lang ang maintenance. Magtatagal yan. Right? And then, specific and estimated cost, I have just mentioned this a while ago. So here, the types of category costs I have explained is those are the initial investment costs, operating costs, maintenance costs, repair, residual costs, etc., etc. So each one of them should i-apply mo yung present value cost para makuha mo yung actual cost in every cost category. Okay? I think I have mentioned this a while ago, so just to elaborate more, para maintindihan po natin, is maraming cost related sa LCAA. Pag na-identify mo lahat ng ito, madali lang gawin ng LCAA. Right? To complete your LCAA, meaning ito yung criteria. The most cost-effective alternative is the one with the lowest LCAA. Once all pertinent costs have been established, added, and discounted to the present value, sino yung makikita mong mas cost-effective or lowest cost? With the base case or the alternative or option case, then select mo siya. Right? Okay, dito na tayo kung paano i-apply itong present value. The present value is defined as the amount invested, okay, to the bank today can pay you all your future costs at a given interest rate. Siguro madaling maintindihan ito kasi yung present value formula nito napakadali. Ika nga. Parang ano lang ito yung ano to natin. We have a subject before in our college and even in high school, economics. So dito ina-apply ang present value formula o costing na ito. In LCCA, may 4 na category ang present value formula. So the one that is highlighted there in your screen, as you can see, ito yung tinatawag na single present value or simply called SPV, uniform present value or simply called UPV, and then there is modified, and then modified for single and uniform. This modified present value is, it takes into consideration the inflation. On the other hand, dun sa single present value, it just take only the discount rate. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Now let's see the formula. So as you can see on the screen, the single present value is just 1 over the interest rate, and n is the year of study. Okay, so this is the factor that you're going to multiply from your present cost category, like yung operation cost, maintenance cost, replacement cost, or even the residual cost. Okay, if that applies to that cost category, then use this formula as a non-occurring cost category. Okay, the uniform present value UPV, ito yung nabanggit ko kanina na recurring yung palaging yung cash flow mo is palaging nandyan. They are always present. These are the maintenance and operating costs, right? Okay. The next thing is, like what I have mentioned, it is the with modified formula. This is with that includes your escalation cost. So SPB, tingnan nyo yung formula. There is a difference between that. Merong escalation dun sa top, the numerator, and then the interest rate on the denominator, and N is always the year of study. Okay. The same way on uniform present value modified, ganun din. If your item is recurring, then with escalation to be included in the formula, then use this formula as you can see on your screen. Modified uniform present value. Now, maraming nakikita akong mga evaluator na even without this formula, they could still produce a report or present value calculation through the use of financial tables. Itong financial tables na ito is readily available ito sa mga financial books. You can easily download even the internet. Just Google the present value table or for single or uniform. It will pop up everything. Okay. The example of this table is the one that you could see on your screen. Andyan yung year, then yung escalation rate, and then see you could just drop down and on a horizontal line I highlighted on the red. So that is the factor. That is the factor on the same way, in the manner dun sa formula na nabanggit natin kanina. Very quick, ika nga. Mas madaling gumawa ng study pagka meron kang table na ganito. But if you want to, verify kung tama itong value nito, then my suggestion is use the basic formula that we have just highlighted. Right? So here, ito na ngayon, yung general formula ng LCAA. Kung nakikita niyo sa screen, that is the summation. Okay, LCC is the summation of the costs, related costs. This cost could be your operation, maintenance, replacement, disposal. Okay, those are the CT, the costs, and the time, of course, the year. Okay, and the number of period of the study. Okay. And then the discount rate, or simply called SPV. If you want to include your escalation, then the formula will be the same thing as what we have learned a while ago. Okay. In simplest form, i-equal natin yung i-itemize o i-break down natin yung LCC formula. Ganito ang mangyayari. So the simplified formula for the life cycle costing will be like this. LCA is equal to CI plus CM plus COP plus CREP minus CRES. So this one is the CI represents your initial cost. You need to include you need to calculate the present value of that cost to zero base. Kasi base yan eh, zero. And then CREP means the replacement cost of one-time or non-recurring cost at the end of equipment useful life. Okay? Replacement cost yan eh. So kailangan pa rin i-apply pa rin yung present value niya. Then the maintenance cost, which is the recurring cost, laging nandiyan yan throughout the life or the study of the LCAA. Nauulit yan yung cash flow niyan. And then operational cost, ganun din, recurring cost din yan. Ibig sabihin, paulit-ulit, annually, meron yan. And then the residual cost or sale or salvage value. Nangyayari itong salvage value or resale value dun sa end of period ng life ng equipment or ng component or yung item na in-study natin. So this is the simplified formula of LCAA. Okay, now let's see. Let's work out a good, a very simple work sample para maintindihan natin kung paano natin i-apply ang mga nabanggit na cost category ng LCAA. Right? Like what I have said, what I pointed out a while ago is maganda kasing i-example yung car parking lighting kasi 10 to 15% ang kino-cover niya, ang energy niya sa kabuuan ng facility. So importante na malaman natin. So let's say that meron tayong 50 numbers of lamp sa isang car parking facility. So yung halimbawa, nag-select tayo ng LED versus mercury vapor. Ito yung example natin. So yung initial cost ng LED, dito kasi, by the way, the monetary we use is US dollar. So my unit here is dollar. So you can convert that equivalent to Philippine peso anyway. So LED is the initial cost is 25,000. Versus the metal mercury vapor is just 18,000. So medyo malaki ang initial cost. Minsan, sa mga customer or sa mga client or sa mga consultant, kung hindi sila aware sa LCA, baka gagrab nila yung mercury vapor kasi mura. Initial cost pa lang. Yan na kaagad sila naengganyo. Mas mura yung mercury vapor versus LED. So doon nagtatapos yung yung decision making nila through the initial cost. Pero mali. So tingnan natin why did I say mali? Tingnan natin yung overall life cycle ng dalawang ito. So let's assume na burning hours nila is 2,912, which correspond to 8 hours per day, 7 days a week, or 52 weeks per year. Okay, let's say the discount rate is 3%, which is the real for constant dollar peso analysis. The energy price will be like, for example, it's 0.25 per kilowatt hour as of the base date, halimbawa, this year. And then let's see the useful life of each lamp. The mercury vapor plus including the ballast or control gear, it takes about 15,000 hours or approximately 5 years. Based on the burning hours that I have mentioned on the uppermost part of the screen. And then the LED, including the control gear and everything, takes about 50,000 hours or approximately 17 years. Okay? Masyadong malayo, no? Let's make our study period 15 years. Napili kong 15 years. Bakit hindi ko napili yung 17 years? Kasi yung 15 years, gusto kong i-study maayos pa ng konti yung LED. Kasi yung LED, yung approximation ko rito is 17 years. Depende sa sa maintenance right? Depende sa environment kung saan naka-install yung LED. Damp yan, wet or dry. So magkakaroon din ng reduction of of light din yan. So, mas maganda, set natin yung medyo mababa yung study period. Let's say 15 years para ma-compensate natin yung loss of time at use. Okay? And then the operating cost or energy consumption. So kung titingnan natin yung 100 watts or 0.1 kilowatt at 2,900 hours, that equates to $3,640 as compared to LED, which is only $728. So malayo, no? So meaning dito pa lang makikita mo na yung savings mo in comparison to mercury vapor. Then maintenance cost estimated around 5,000. Kasi yung maintenance cost pareho eh. Yung effort ng tao, okay? Yung time nila, and gear and everything, most likely pareho yung cost ng maintenance. Pareho yung process, parehas yung procedure and everything. So I came up with the value of 5,000. Okay. That's per year annually. Replacement costs every 50,000 hours. So ginamit ko itong 50,000 hours dun sa LED, yung life ng LED. So meaning, in comparison to mercury vapor, which is only about 15,000 hours. So in short, 3 beses siya magpapalit throughout the same life of LED. So meaning, every 5 years, magpapalit ka. So 3 times ika nga magpapalit ka ng mercury vapor as compared to LED. So residual cost, zero ito kasi pagka gamit mo na yung ilaw, mo na ma-save, wala na. The only cost that can be appreciated here is yung ano ba yun? Yung parang garbage na pwede mo siyang ibenta uli, ipakilo ng metal parts niya, gano'n. So, maliit lang yun as compared to the total cost of the item. So, negligible ka nga. So, wag na lang natin isama yung cost. Okay? Can you still hear me? Hello? Can you still hear me?
Nawala yung audio.
Hello?
Yeah, okay na.
Yeah. It's okay now? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay na.
let's proceed. Nagkaroon lang ng technical interruption. Okay. Let's go into what we are discussing now. So here in this table, I did two tables here just to compare the base case, which is the mercury vapor light, and then the alternative case, which is the LVD light fixture. So in comparing both items, you can see that the one that I have in previous slide here, the one it's written here, I just bring them down all together para malinaw ba yung comparison ng costing natin. So, makikita niyo yung initial cost of its item. Then makikita natin yung discount factor kanina kung paano natin nakuha yung discount factor na yan. Like for example, operational energy, meaning this is what? It is a recurring cost category. Okay, so the formula will be just simple as that. Kung makikita nyo. Then on the alternative case, ganun din. Pareho lang ang process, procedure. i-apply mo lang yung proper formula, whether it is one time or recurring. Apply the present value cost with the discount factor that being applied, 3%. Then you will arrive with the present value of each item. Then adding up all together, makikita nyo yung LCC ng base case is about 74,138. As compared to the LCC of LED, which is only 28,000. See the difference. Nakikita nyo na yung kung sino pa yung pinakamahal sa initial cost, which is LED, mas mura pala. Within 15 years, mas mura siya. So, in short, kung ikaw ay evaluator, engineer, or surveyor, or could be an owner, or a facility manager, huwag kang titingin ng initial cost lang as your basis of decision. You have to see the overall life cycle cost of the equipment up to the end of its useful life. Para masigurado mo na yung item mo na napili mo is beneficial ba sa iyo or not. Okay? So, in this form now that we have just discussed, makikita natin, sirs, ma'am, kung paano, how effective the LCA will work in our projects. So, LCA, hindi lang naman apply ito sa ilaw. It can be applied in many other items like transformer, UPS, name it, kahit saan, kahit anong item, pwedeng gamitin ito. Even the building itself, pwedeng gamitin ito. Ginagamit ito ng mga architects to verify the life cycle cost, the whole life cycle cost of the building. So, sa atin naman, pwede naman natin gamitin sa ating mga electrical components. Okay? So, it's very useful, mga sirs, ma'am, ang LCA. Just to, understand how it's being applied, and then how it's being evaluated, and how it's being used, especially in assigning the cost category of each item. Then properly applied with the discount rate, escalation rate, the assumption of residual cost and everything. Madali na. Just like what I have shown now in your screen. It's very simple to do the LCA actually. It is part, by the way, LCA is part of value engineering. Okay? It is not a branch of economic, but still it is a part of value engineering. When you do an analysis of your costing, LCA is always there to evaluate your projects. Right? Now, come to think now that this LCA, what we are talking about is, pwede mo pa rin i-enhance ito actually. Like on the next slide that I am showing you, you can appreciate more your savings through some methodology of energy saving. Okay, like switching the LED. Okay, halimbawa yung traditional light mo, nandiyan ka pa rin, gumagamit ka pa ng mercury vapor or any type of HID. Impact fluorescent or incandescent or something, pag-switch ka na ng LED, it can drastically reduce your energy bill about 60%. And integrate the lighting control. Hello?
Yes, Mario. Okay.
Integrate the lighting control and then save on the maintenance cost also. So kung maayos yung maintenance mo ng ilaw mo, it can reach up to 10% actually yung savings mo. So those are the passive and active measurement that you are going to do para ma-appreciate mo palalo yung LCA mo. So on the screen that I have just shown to you, these are an example of the lifespan expectancies of the equipment that we have on the electrical items. So most likely, may encounter niyo po ito, mga sirs, ma'am, sa LCA studies niyo, analysis niyo. It is very important to know all these figures para makumpleto ba yung LCA niyo. You need to understand how long they last. You need to understand your study period would be analyzed. Okay? So, kung mapapansin niyo mga sirs, ma'am, is the light fixture is almost, approximately 20 years. Generator 20, wiring devices 30, medyo mahaba. Then, switch gears, mas matagal, 40 years. It almost equates to the standard life of the building, which is 50 years. 40 years ang switch gears and panel boards. The dry type and oil type transformers as well are even 30 years longer. So, importante po itong table na ito pag gumagawa tayo ng LCAA. Okay? On the next slide that I'm showing to you is ito na yung paano nyo evaluate yung life expectancy na yun na nabanggit ko, how it works, yung failure rate ng ito. So dito sa graph na to, this is the ideal graph of the equipment. Up to the point of useful life niya, ibig sabihin, maayos yung item, maayos yung equipment, maayos yung operation niya. Kasi hindi pa siya nagkakaroon ng wear and tear ng equipment. So maayos pa siya. Pero pag after ng useful life niya, ayan na. Diyan mo na masasakit yung ulo mo. So dami mo ng babayarang replacement, maintenance, sakit sa ulo, ika nga. So, napapansin ko, or even you, maybe, nakikita niyo siguro why Japan is very smart enough pagdating sa LCAA. Nakikita ko yung kanilang smartness kasi kung napapansin nyo, sa Binondo or dito sa yung lugar yung tambakan ng mga automobile machines, yung mga makina, tinatambak doon. Kasi lahat yung item na yun, wala na, end na yung life niya. Masakit na sa bulsa nila yung carry repair. Tayo naman, sige, tinatanggap, libre, Japan aid, diba? Hindi natin alam, masakit at saka nagiging garbage center na tuloy ang Pilipinas sa mga ganitong bagay. So anyway, I just highlighted that one. So, okay. I'm going to wrap up now the webinar, and I'm going to show you the summary of this webinar. Okay. So, the use of LCA, it enables the project to be evaluated by their long-term costs rather than the just initial investment costs. Ito kanina na nabanggit natin. So, wag kang tumingin lang sa initial cost ng item. You need to evaluate the whole study period or useful life ng item na yan para ma-appreciate mo kung item na ito ay cost-effective ba o hindi. And it can be applied to building or building system component like electrical, mechanical, or whatsoever. Okay, and then it will also improve your future budgeting. Pero hindi ito pwedeng gamitin as project budget because LCA is only meant for estimating or calculating the cost effectiveness of an item throughout its life. Okay? Hindi project, life ng equipment. Kung i-estimate mo yung project life mo, doon ka lang sa base case. Kung yung magkano yung base date cost mo and with additional profit and overhead, that is your project cost. Pero huwag mong gamitin yung LCA as your budget. Mas malaki ito. Ika nga. Matatalo ka lang pag dinamit mo yung cost na ito sa pagka sumama ka sa mga tendering. Okay? So, next slide would be, we are on Q&A, sirs. Ma'am, I think I have done all the understanding about LCA. So I am welcoming everybody who is present to this webinar. Just to shoot me a question, if I can do.
Okay. Okay, I have one question. I answered na pala siya.
Hello.
Sagot na ba?
Hindi.
Type na?
Hindi pa. Pasagot mo na lang kay Engineer Mario.
Yeah. Sir, paki-unshare para makapag-picture ako dun sa mga makukuhanan ko ng picture din.
Okay.
Pinag-elevate na sila sa panelist si KB. Thank you, KB. Yan, may tanong.
Okay.
Then bahala ka na sa question Q&A.
Okay, sige. Meron lang question dito, Engineer Mario. Nagtatanong lang siya sa payback period at saka net savings ng mga LED.
Okay.
Sa experience niyo po.
Yung net saving. Okay. Let me define first the payback. Actually, yung payback is once you have once you establish your initial cost or investment, and then at the later date of time, halimbawa, you had estimated or you had appreciated a savings on that investment. So the payback would be very dependent on how much your saving is para makuha mo yung payback period mo in a shorter term or long term. Okay, so dependent siya sa savings mo. Okay? Yung in comparison to yun sir, yung kanina?
Payback period and net savings na...
Net savings. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yung net saving naman is ito yung difference between your alternative costs and versus the base case. Kung halimbawa, kanina dun sa slide natin, yung kaninang example natin, na kung halimbawa yung net savings mo sa between these two cases ay positive. Ika nga, mas yung turnover ng ano mo, ng cost mo sa alternative mo is most likely positive than your base or your base case, then your alternative choice is acceptable. Simply put, it is just the difference between your alternative versus your base case. In my experience sa LED, they are well appreciated in terms of payback and net saving, regardless of the type of fixture in comparison to LED. The only the only factor that will brought down the LED as compared to other light fixture is the area or the environment they are being installed. Halimbawa, yes.
Go ahead. Sige po, Engineer Marion, Sige po, tuloy niyo lang po. Nabubuksan ni na-press yung kanyang mic.
Okay. So, ngayon, yung sabi ko nga kanina is ma-appreciate mo yung cost effectiveness ng LED in comparison to other light luminaires. Environment na kung saan is hindi siya harsh. Ibig sabihin, normal condition of work, normal condition of environment. Pero pagdating sa harsh environment, like for example, mga industrial, yung paggagamitan mo is classified. Although may nakikita akong LED, but then ginagamit pa rin sa mga ganitong klase ng installation is either HPS, LPS, or any type of HID. Kasi yung color rendering and the type of environment is plays a lot of major role in this kind of environment.
Okay. Yep, thank you po.
Welcome, sir.
Okay. So, siguro rin yun, no? Engineer Mario, kasi
yes, sir.
Medyo rin yung tanungan ni Jay, no? Regarding dun sa net savings ng LED. So, hindi niya naman clarify. Kasi, paano kung ang existing ilaw ko ay halimbawa 100 watts na HPS. Tapos papalit ko rin 100 watts na LED. Wala.
Hindi pwede yun.
Hindi po ba?
Wala.
Same wattage lang din naman yun eh.
Oo.
So kaya
yes, correct.
Medyo maano yung ni Jay.
Meron din sa Q&A pa?
Oo, meron pa. Teka, ito muna rin. Question din to ni Jay eh. So, yung hindi ko rin sure kung ano itong sinasabi ni Jay. Compared po doon sa MB, di po kasali doon sa table. Siguro medium voltage switchgear ito. Meron ba doon sa table niyo kanina yung ano ba ang light ng medium voltage switchgear?
Hindi, ang medium voltage switchgear.
Opo.
Medium voltage switchgear. Oh yes, kasama.
Doon sa table niyo. Ilang years? 20?
40.
40 years.
40.
Okay. So yun.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ito naman sa ano natin, Engineer Mario, no? Meron din tanong dito.
Yes, sir.
Is the payback period the same with return of investment?
No. Ang payback is investment over the benefit. Okay. kung kukunin mo yung return on investment mo, reciprocal ng payback. Yan, babalik ka rin mo lang yung formula. Your benefit will become the upper part or numerator, and your initial cost will be on the denominator.
Okay, tama po. No? So, parang short of saying, halimbawa, meron akong 100 pesos no, na in-invest, and
Yes.
then nagbibigay siya sa akin ng annual kita na
Savings.
50 pesos, ibig sabihin, 50% ang return of investment. Tama, di po ba? Kasi
Hindi.
100 pesos ang investment mo, 50 pesos ang bumabalik sa'yo. So, may 50% kang ROI. Ang payback mo, 2 years. Kasi bago mo
2
ma-recover
years.
yung... Okay.
Yes, 2 years. Yes, correct.
Sir Mario?
As simple as that.
And ROI.
Sir Mario, may request lang ako. Pwede paki-on yung video mo?
Hindi ko makita eh. Wala yun.
Press, you cannot start your video. Kasi nga yung post, tayo. No? So, kaya wala tayo lahat video po.
Hindi, nasa kwan na kayo, panelist, pwede na.
Pero
video nyo lang.
Pero ganun pa rin. Not may meeting alert talaga, you cannot start your video because the host has his update. So kaya sabi ko,
ganyan din sa screen
parang
ko.
microphone.
Ganyan din sa screen ko ngayon. Meeting alert, you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
KB, baka pwede naman. Gusto ko makita. Nagmakaawat sa national eh, no? Sige,
Yes po, ma'am.
Gusto ko makita yung video ni Sir Mario para ma-screenshot ko sana siya. May alert daw eh, you cannot on your video daw.
Nakalagay po, ma'am, his network bandwidth is low.
Okay. Sige.
Okay.
Thank
Pero
you.
Sa iba rin, hindi ayaw eh. Sa iba ayaw. Ayan, si Darwin sabi niya, di daw allow yung video. Yung kanina question pala yun ni Henry. No?
Okay. Kung meron pa pong mga question na gusto nyo i-follow up, just shoot me an email dun sa sa email I'll make sure na ma-replyan ko lahat in due time.
Siyempre, may question dito si Jay ulit. Yan, sabi niya, how do we factor in other factors such as classified locations in the LCC?
Hindi ko lang sure kung naintindihan ko yung question, but I think her question is about siguro sa LCAA na gagamitin mo para sa harsh environment like classified area is mataas yung mataas yung cost of investment, mataas yung maintenance niya.
Okay.
As compared to others.
Parang kanina, no, yung nakita ko nga rin sa table ng Engineer Mario, no, yung siyempre iba yung lifespan ng equipment if it's on a dry location as compared to a wet location, no? So parang hazardous area at saka non-hazardous area, no? So mas magkaiba ng yun.
Magkaiba.
Okay. So meron pang yung si Ren nagtatanong lang, engineer, no, kung pwede pa kami makahingi ng soft copy ng presentation ninyo.
No problem po. Bibigay ko po. Sir, email mo lang sa akin yung Excel sheet ng mga participant para mabigyan ko kung sino yung gustong mag-avail ng
or kunin na lang ni...
Usually, Sir Mario, ginagawa namin, kami nagsisend.
Okay. So, ibibigay ko po sa inyo.
Kasabay ng
Chi.
e-certificate. Okay, sir. Kasabay
Sige.
kasi ng
Sige.
certificate nila yun. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
kami ni March. Oh, may video na kami ni March. I-try nyo nga sa inyo. Makulit ako eh, no?
Ayaw,
May video
ayaw.
talaga.
Ayaw pa rin.
Ayaw pa rin. Ayaw pa
Si
rin.
March, oh, may video na rin si March, oh.
Kami wala.
Wala.
Kailangan.
Wawa naman ako. Wala akong picture niya. Sige.
But,
Sige, question
don't
pa kayo
worry.
kay Sir Mario. Yan.
Okay, so sino pang may tanong?
Magtanong na kayo kasi sasagutin kayo ni Sir Mario.
Actually, meron pa yan na Engineer Mara, di ba? Yung mga net present value. Compute din siya sa LCC, hindi po ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yung net present value is actually different from LCAA or LCC. Just to give you a complete difference between both methodology. Yung LCC is the summation of the initial cost and all category costs like operational, maintenance, replacement, residual. So meaning LCC is just a summation of all the costs considering the present value, right? That includes the discount of each cost. Now, yung net present value is different. Ito ang methodology niya. Ang net present value is you have the initial investment and then yung cost category mo in positive. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng cost category mo, you need to add them and subtract it from the investment. So, nakita niyo yung difference niya?
Yep.
Yun ang difference ng net present value sa LCC.
Okay.
Nasa slide ko rin yan yata.
So, hindi ibig sabihin na pag mura ang equipment mo, yun na kagad ang bibilin mo, no? Kasi yun ang thinking kagad natin eh. Pag mura,
Exactly.
so dapat idadaan mo siya sa, ayan, yung mga LCC. So, kinukumpute nyo lahat po, no? Kinukumpute nyo lahat ng cost.
Exactly. Yan ang tinatawag na cost category.
So, normally po, ano ang, halimbawa, magtatayo ako ng isang station. Ano ang kadalasan na hurdle rate o kaya mga payback period na nasa market po?
Sa substation?
Halimbawa, substation, tatayo ka.
Pwede siguro natin ipasok yan sa total cost of ownership methodology. Kasi sa total cost of ownership methodology, pag halimbawa transformer yung gusto mong i-analyze sa cost, i-consider mo yung no load at saka load loss niya eh. So, kung let's say halimbawa, at some point in time, halimbawa yung transformer mo umaandar, walang load, no load, ito nga. Pero may binabayaran ka pa rin cost niyan dahil siyempre, yung transformer nag-ooperate pa rin yan ng may energy. Ito nga. So, kailangan i-apply mo ang TCO instead of LCA sa substation. So transformer sir. I think one of this day, kung God willing, actually yung series ng webinar namin dito, good to know na unang na-share itong LCAA. Yung next topic namin dito is TCO,
ECO?
yung total
Total cost of
total
ownership.
cost
Okay.
ownership. Yes. It's two different methodology from LCAA. Part ito ng part ito ng electrical design economic series.
Tama. Okay. Meron din kayong, may topic din kayo sa Cayman na value engineering, Engineer Mario?
Yes sir. Meron.
So,
I can
pwede
share that.
naming hingi din kami sa inyo ng schedule nyo, no? Kasi minsan kailangan rin natin yun, no? Value engineering. Minsan nagbibigay ka ng, di ba, lalo na kung designer ka or kung facilities manager ka, no? Or engineering manager, minsan bibigyan ka ng cost ng contractor mo, no? So dapat gagawan mo rin siya ng value engineering para alam mo kung nasa tama ba ang cost, above ba ang cost ng contractor mo, or nasa tamang costing lang po, no?
Yeah. Sa value engineering, sir, just to give you a brief understanding about this topic. Normally kasi, marami na akong na-encounter ng value engineering professional. And I concluded na ang value engineering is not all about reduction of costs. Right? It is not a reduction of cost. Why did I say? Kasi ang primary concept ng value engineering is to keep the same functionality of the equipment. Ang ini-enhance mo lang dito is yung ibang item related to that na nagfa-function pa rin siya. Ibig sabihin, let's say halimbawa, you are planning to install halimbawa, high-rise building, you are planning to install a busway as compared to cable, riser. Their functions are the same, right? Yung i-value engineering mo kung which one is most cost effective. So, hindi nawawala yung functionality ng dalawa. Yeah. So that's the difference between them.
So may tanong si Rustom Velasco. Sabi niya, in LCCA, you use different rates in different specific calculations. Where can we find a reference or references of rates?
Rates. I can give you a table, a financial table, that will, supplement your LCAA. So the primary value of discount rate can be extracted into financial institution like bank. Halimbawa, maglo-loan ka, magkano yung discount rate? Is that discount rate applicable to the same commodity that we are doing the study? Hindi, di ba? So you can use that discount rate.
Okay. Yep.
Sorry sir. Ang isa pang rate na ina-plug natin sa LCAA is inflation, okay, or the escalation. Both these two have different meaning. So baka may ma-confuse diyan. Yung inflation is different from escalation. So yung inflation, yan yung nakikita natin somewhat, I think, yung Pilipinas ngayon is nasa 4.6 or something?
3.6.
3.6, yes.
Kami ngayon.
Okay. So that is the inflation rate. Meaning, yung purchasing power ng pera mo ngayon na-reduce. Diba? Yung bumababa yung value ng pera. Mataas ang power niya. Ngayon, yung escalation naman iba. Ang escalation naman to, ina-apply ito sa construction or to in some businesses na halimbawa at the time of tendering for your quote, halimbawa nagsabit ka ng quotation mo, biglang nag-shoot up yung inflation. So dun sa escalation clause mo sa contract mo, kailangan mag-agree kayo between you and the employee or the owner magkano yung escalation rate na i-apply mo dun sa dalawang cost. Dalawang cost yung pwede mong i-apply dito. Yung tinatawag na non-adjustable at saka adjustable. Yung mga non-adjustable, halimbawa, nagkaroon ng inflation, hindi naman nagbago yung cost ng pullbacks, huwag mo isama sa escalation yun. Right? Ang i-apply mo lang sa escalation rate mo, dun sa mga affected talagang commodity, para hindi naman lugi si client. At hindi ka rin, let's say, sorry to say, swapang ba? Ang tawag doon? Whatever. Yeah.
So, ito may, Sir Guillermo, gusto mo ikaw na magtanong nito?
Sige.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Do we need sa database ng company para norms, established norms, para makapag-arrive ka sa mere accuracy or accurate estimate?
Can you repeat again, sir? Medyo choppy.
Kailangan mo ba ang company database sa established norm ng company para makapag-arrive ka sa accurate or near accurate estimates, hindi lang guesstimates or rough estimate or ballpark estimates? Kasi kailangan mo yan sa mga procurement cost ng materials and labor.
Yes, sir. As much as possible, kailangan kung ano yung defined rate ng financial institution, the banks, especially, and the market price value at the base date, kailangan well-defined po, sir. So you need to take everything that is being fixed amount to date.
So therefore, kung ikaw ay babago pala mag-i-establish ng company para to arrive dito sa mga LCC,
Yes, sir.
so kailangan mo talaga na mag-establish muna ng mga ganitong parameters.
Exactly, sir. Exactly, sir. That is what the steps that I have just mentioned in this slide. The steps are, kung nakita niyo po yung kaninang slide ko, I think that is slide number, let me check. Yeah, here. The completion of LCA, the basic step. Wala ba? Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, anyway, Sir Mario, pwede mo siguro talagang i-share itong mga ganitong mga references at saka yung mga materials para maikuha namin at least halimbawa mayroong dito sa grupo natin na mag-establish itong company at magandang references ito, lalo yung sinabi ni Sir Rodel na yung katulad ng value engineering na kailangan lagi yan na tinatanong ng mga
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm willing to share all this information with you, sir. No worries. And you can even contact me directly kung kailangan niyo po ng technical assistance tungkol sa design economics.
Thank you. So, tama, mailagay dito yung iyong email address. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
O kaya Sir Guillermo, no, pagka pwede na tayong bumiyahe, puntahan natin sa Cayman Island to si Mario.
Ay, oo. At nabuti ng hurricane doon. Talagang grabe ang tama ni hurricane.
Ganun.
Sir, just to prepare yourself na ang travel dito is 24 hours.
Oh, nako. kahit na ano pa, basta makatravel lang.
Yun ang problema doon eh. Doon sa yung hurricane season.
Yes.
Talagang grabe.
Yes sir, yes sir. True.
Actually,
Thank you.
yan. Thank you, Sir Guillermo. No? Actually, maganda
Thank you,
yung, maganda, at kailangan naman talaga natin, no, bilang engineers yung nagko-compute tayo ng LCC. Kasi kagaya ng
Correct,
last
sir.
slide, no, nung nakita ko tama nga naman, no, yung useful life, dapat tinitingnan din natin, no. Halimbawa, kung ikaw, bago kang facilities engineer, no? Kaya engineering manager ka, pagpasok mo sa isang kumpanya, luma na yung mga equipment eh. Hindi naman sa hindi ka magaling mag-maintenance, no, or mag-repair just in case na masira ka, pero ang sakit ng ulo, ang iniiwasan natin diyan, yung sakit ng ulo eh. Kung 20 years na yung may mga iba, no, 10 years na yung compressor, 15 years na yung compressor, hindi pa rin pinapalitan. Kasi nga, admittedly, hindi natin alam kung paano i-justify na palitan na natin yung compressor ng bago. Kasi hindi tayo marunong mag-compute ng ano ba ang payback period niyan, ano ang magiging savings kung palitan natin ng bago. So, tinatsaga natin na pagka nasira, repair. Di po ba? Pero pag nasa facilities ka, maintenance
Yan,
ka.
Sir Angkwan. Tama. Sir Rodel, kasi yung ano ba, meron ngayon tinatawag na risk-based analysis na tungkol sa maintenance. Tayo mga engineer, puro technical na lang tayo pa ano eh. Pero yung sa cost presentation na ito, nalilimutan nga natin.
Yes.
Kasi kami ganun. Ako ayoko kasi nung ating gabi tatawagan ako sa bahay tapos kasi down ang planta dahil nasira yung 15 years compressor o kaya yung sakit sa ulo yun eh. Gagawa ko na lang ng igawa ko na lang siya ng analyze ko na lang ba savings natin diyan kung sakaling bago, no, na inverter driven, hindi masakit sa ulo yan. Kaya kung ikaw engineer, hayahay din ang buhay mo, hindi po ba? Pero yun nga, kailangan mong competent itong mga to para masabi sa management na kailangan na tayo magpalit ng equipment kasi luma na. Di ba? Pag pinagta natin ng new technology, ito savings natin. Ito ang niyan, payback period, ito ang return of investment natin, etc. Hindi naman sa sinasabi kong hindi tayo magagaling na mag-maintain, no, or mag-repair, pero mas maganda yung ang buhay mo sa maintenance or sa engineering ay ano lang din, di ba pa? Hayahay din.
Actually, maganda po yan, Sir Rodel, na dapat malaman siguro sa mga engineers na nasa facility management ang importance ng paggamit ng LCCA apart from using the payback period and ROI. These are supplementary economic evaluation lang sa LCA kung appreciative yung LCA mo una. Kasi sa payback period, pag na-reach mo yung payback time niya, let's say 3 years, hanggang dun lang, tapos na ang study mo eh. Whereas sa LCA, hanggang dun sa end of life ng equipment. Right? Hindi alam ng iba, na pag nag-stop ka na dun sa payback period mo, yung remaining life mo, maraming cost implication pa yan. Yung operation mo, maintenance mo, everything. Marami pa. So, ibig sabihin, yung na-save mo at the least time of payback mo, baka magamit mo dun sa remaining life ng equipment. So, importante po yun na malaman natin yung LCA.
Dapat pala sir, medyo extensive yung topic natin dito sa cost engineering. Kasi
Yes, sir.
katulad nga ng earned value, katulad nitong MCA, at marami
Yes, sir.
pang iba. Payback
Oh,
period,
marami, sir.
napakahalaga niyan.
Yes, sir. Marami. I can share also my experiences to that field of earned value management. Kasi on site, nagagamit ko po yan as project manager and design manager before.
Tama, mahalaga yan.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, meron pong may question? Pwede sa
Rodel,
March.
may nag-message hindi daw nila yung link. I'm not sure pero gumagana naman sa akin.
So, sige. Sige, March. Muna tingnan ko yung ano natin. Titingnan ko yung link natin.
Okay, sige, thank you.
May question pa. Si March, nasa ano rin yan before eh. Nasa mga design firm din yan. So, alam na alam din ni March kung paano yung mga LCC at cost engineering.
Dating project management, ayan ako na pinag-uusapan. Pero as designer, usually, pinipresent namin yung design din, management type of commercial. Ako, hanggang as long as technically acceptable and somebody else. Sa part ko, usually hindi yung cost pagdating sa cost and value engineering very limited lang. Pero may mga experts amin talaga nag-evaluate pagdating sa that's my experience as designer. Siguro wala pa ako doon sa level ng management na kami ang nasa amin yung code sa designer hanggang technical or technical criteria ng mga equipment specification.
Sa amin kasi sa manufacturing, meron na yung accounting namin, Engineer Mario eh. No? So,
Yes, sir.
basta sasabihin lang niya sa'yo, sige, basta ang hurdle rate dapat kung magpapalit ka ng equipment o dapat ang kung simple payback lang, no? Kasi minsan para lang ma-justify mo, para lumakad yung capex mo, yung proposal mo, ang una kagad hihingin kasi ng accounting simple payback. So basta pumasok ka sa sabi nila pagka sustainability project 5 years. So yun ang simple payback. So let's say kung gusto mong mag-put up ng solar farm, solar panel sa manufacturing companies namin, no? So dapat daw 5 years. So pag hindi pumasok sa 5 years, wag mo nang pag-aksayahan kasi hindi kagad yan sa accounting pa lang, sa finance pa lang, hindi na siya papasa, no? So pagka hindi sustainability, pag savings project lang, sasabihin ng finance namin dapat ang simple payback ay 1.5 years. So pag hindi ka ulit hindi papasok ng 1.5 years yan, so wag ka na mag-aksaya. Hindi yan sa finance pa lang, hindi na yan nalulusot, hindi na yan pupunta sa upper management. So kaya dapat lahat ng cost, kaya nakita ko kanina, tama yun, maintenance cost, sinasama namin lahat yan. Compute, ano ba maintenance cost neto for the next 10 years? So let's say yun ang useful life. No? So, tapos ano yung savings, lahat. No? So para, and then mga spare parts, pag ganun yung treatment namin pagdating natin yan.
Tama yun, Sir Rodel. Actually, naisip ko na kung bakit nabanggit nyo kanina na yung accounts nyo is meron siyang benchmark. Payback period. Maaari na nag-set na sila ng benchmark budget para dyan na hanggang dito yung payback natin kasi ito yung budget allocation natin. Next 5 years, ito lang. Or it could be kung halimbawa ay nagpa-participate tayo ng ganyang mga tendering, maybe the best way to our price be competitive. Siguro during the time of tendering, mag-shoot tayo ng request for information, RFI. Siguro hingin natin yung kanilang benchmark values in terms of period. And then sa atin bilang engineers, evaluators, gagawa tayo ng tinatawag na sensitivity analysis. Okay. Itong sensitivity analysis is one way of how you're going to shorten and improve the benefits. Yung cost hindi magbabago kasi initial cost yan na yung presyo niyan eh. Kahit saan ka pumunta siguro very minimal lang yung margin of difference niya. Pero yung benefit, yun ang titingnan mo sa sensitivity analysis. And then you work it out on that figure, on that sensitivity analysis up to the time na siguro maka-arrive ka na nung benchmark value na gusto nila. Then you win the prize.
So sa amin kasi dahil multinational companies din naman, company rin naman siya. So kaya yung mga best practices dun sa mga iba't ibang countries, so ginagather nila yan. So alam na nila kung halimbawa, ito nga project mo na ipinopropose, ito na rin yung kailangan na, ito yung standard natin na ano dyan, budget or payback period, no? So, dapat rin no? Yung tayo mga engineers, strong din tayo sa human natin pagdating sa finance.
Oh yes, definitely sir. Kasi definitely sir, kailangan talaga natin ito kasi pag tayo ay nasa upper level of organization like management ka, when you do your decision making, importante po ito.
Correct, apo.
May question ako kay Mario.
Yes,
sige, Mark.
Question, nakapag-ano ka na ba ng value engineering sa cable? Let's say, for example, copper versus aluminum insulation. Like, halimbawa, if you're going to use in the PHN, going outward, then you have that cable which is rated versus outer cable na exposed siya and rating. It's like that for the cable.
Yes, actually, ang value engineering can be applied to any sort of building component, like electrical component, for as long as you are not deviating or going away with the primary function of the system. Okay?
Pero may nakontak ba kayong study kasi low voltage lang? Anong kailan nyo, when it's economical to use that type of cable?
Yes, meron na akong, I can share that kind of analysis anyway. If you want to compare an XLPE cable or PVC cable insulation, I can do so.
Yes. Kung pwedeng, if you have that, pwedeng picture din. Baka pwedeng.
Oh, yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you.
Maybe, Sir Marks, what I can do to you, drop me an email, and then just a bullet points on the email, a checklist or maybe something na i-wrote down mo yung criteria mo. Then I can figure out the cost or the value or LCC or PCO on that.
Maria, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So may may comment lang din dito si Jay, no? So dapat daw ituro din ito sa college, no? So siguro kunin na lang to na stress ng IIE dun sa collaboration with with the sa TED
Oh yes,
or ng
definitely.
academics committee ng IIE.
Oo, sa academic. Oo.
Kasi important naman talaga yan.
Sige.
Oh, important talaga sir. Napaka dahil when you come up with your final figure of your price and decision, the LCCA has all the essential elements of the decision.
Yep. So para kasi kailangan mo yan, no? Pagka mag-justify ka between, let's say, alam mo na, again, hindi naman nagpo-promote, no? Yung Cooper transformer ay talaga naman, pag kinabit mo, ang, ano ko nga dyan, ang terminology ko nga dyan, pag ang transformer na nabili ay Cooper, parang kabit, and then forget na yan eh. Kahit hindi mo na pero napakamahal. So, kaya nauuwi tayo dito. Hindi tayo makapag-justify ng ganong branch kasi mahal. Okay, so nauuwi tayo nagsisettle tayo dun sa okay rin naman, yung mura, pero alam natin na in the long run, masakit sa ulo. So parang tingnan natin yung mga ni Meralco, no? Yung mga transformers niya. Di po ba?
Well, actually, kung halimbawa, sir, we are really passionate in this kind of, economic evaluation, lalo na dun sa mga facility management like building or even dun sa plant, industries, or even hindi nawawala talaga eh. I've been through so many papers of doing LCAA. Almost all sectors nangangailangan ng LCAA. Kahit hindi kailangan, ginagawa ko pa rin just to make sure that myself is safe from all, insults ba?
Yep. So, meron pa wala na ako nakikitang question sa Q&A. At dun sa ating box. So, kung may comment din si Darwin, no? So, yung pwedeng subject siya sa engineering economics. No? So, okay, ma-pick up na lang yan.
Meron naman tayo yun.
May subject naman na engineering economics.
Yes.
Actually, ito na talaga. Pero very broad lang siya.
Oo.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much, Sir Mario. Thank you, Cayman Island. Yeah, I think andyan si Juan, andyan si Mike, wala si Juan, si Jojo.
Gamit niya po yung ma'am. Nandito po si President namin. Gamit niya po yung
sige. Okay, sige. Good morning good evening sa inyo. Late na kayo matutulog. Anong oras yun? Alas 10 nyo na pasado. Matulog. Yeah, thank you Cayman Island. Papa-share nyo kay Sir Mario sa amin.
Yes, welcome
anyway,
po
kung anong
anytime.
kailangan nyo, susuportahan din kayo ng Northern Laguna, no?
Yes, correct.
In that aspect, may we award you now your certificate, Sir Mario, Del, March, take charge. Nasaan na yung certificate natin? Sino ba sa inyong dalawa?
March, ma-flash mo ba?
Yes, saglit ha.
Okay. Sige.
Sige. Magkwentuhan muna tayo kasi meron din ako nakita kanina taga UAE. So anong oras siya nag-start kung 9 tayo? Alas 5, gising na siya. Kasi 4 hours difference. Meron tayong taga Middle East. So talagang, you know what, if you really wanted to learn, wala yung oras sa atin no? Kita ko from UAE siya. So 5 a.m. nila doon nung nag-join siya. So again, thank you.
Okay,
So ito yung certificate mo, Sir
okay.
Mario. Yeah, kita na. Okay. We'll just be sending you in your email a copy of this. The Institute of Integrated Electrical Engineers of the Philippines, Northern Laguna Chapter. Magyayabang ulit ako. The best chapter Hall of Famer. Kasi it's the only chapter na nakakuha ng 5 most outstanding award sa IIEE National sa big chapter. So, it's the Northern Laguna chapter. Would like to award the certificate of appreciation to Engineer Mario Fernandez, RREE, for sharing his technical knowledge and expertise. Hindi ko it's blurred sa akin ang dating March as the resource speaker of this 2-hour webinar. Given you conducting life cycle cost analysis for parking facility lighting system, given this 13th day of June 2021, signed one of the proponents, Engineer Rodel Manalo, the VP Internal of NLC, the President, si March Machenzo, the incumbent one, and then yours truly, one of the organizers. Again, thank you very much, Engineer Mario Fernandez. Agyaman kami ng kakabsat. And to Cayman Island also.
Thank you.
Yeah. For staying this late para masuportahan ninyo ang inyong advisor. And it's a very good gesture sa part ninyo, yung support. We all need that. Let's support each other. So again, tumatawa kay Man, Press Jojo, at saka Mike, ingat kayo. Sir Mario, ingat kayo lagi. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Again, thank you, Mark. Sir Rodel, baka meron kayong isabihin. Yes, Sir Mario.
All I can say is, salamat sa pag-imbita sa amin. Although we are a baby chapter, ika nga, that said, nandito kami para sumuporta sa ibang chapters.
Okay, Engineer Mario.
If you need support also, we are just here. Just let us know.
Yung pala, kaya pala may 104, no? Ay, nakita ko may mga 104 from 104 ito.
Aming interim number, sir.
Okay. So clear.
Salamat. 104 kayo, 105 chapters na alam ko ang IIEE. Dapat 106 na kayo. 104 kayo? Alam ko 105 chapters ng IIEE.
104 po.
But 104. Sige, but anyway, thank you again, guys, Thank you sa support ninyo. Meron pa tayong susunod na collaboration with Cayman, yung ating concert for a cause. Global musical. Meron pa tayong global musical. Magyayari yan next month, so we will try to organize muna yan, pag-usapan, no? Para magkaroon ng synchronization daw yung mga musical instruments. Hayaan mo na yung mga bosses natin, sila na ulit ang kakanta. Again, guys, yung mga participants, you're invited for the Thursday Delight again. And Dynamics yata, Dynamo, yung next topic sa Thursday Delight. Wala pa kaming Sunday's Best, but when you will be informed again. Thank you everyone. God bless, stay safe.